All right, I guess we can go ahead and get started.
Recording has started.
I want to thank you guys for joining us today for our Cloudera and Fierce joint webinar. Before we get started, I just wanted to kind of take a few minutes, give you a brief overview of what we have going on for today and what we do here at Fierce as well. And then I'll pass it over to our counterparts over at Cloudera. Chris Clark, partner of sales account manager at Cloudera, and then our great host, Tarun, our partner solutions engineer at Cloudera as well. But here at Fierce, we are a small woman-owned, we'll do the agenda. But here's a little brief agenda. Like I said, we'll do a little Fierce overview, Cloudera overview. And then we'll pass it over to Chris, and he'll kind of go over what else we can expect from our webinar today. And then Tarun will take over and kind of give us a little more in-depth view on the technology focus for modern data applications and some Cloudera solutions for universal data collection and distribution, and possibly a few use cases and successes. But here at Fierce, like I said, we are a small woman-owned business specializing in reselling enterprise open source software for our public sector customers. We also have specific value add elements that we are bringing as innovation brokering, license management, professional services, formal training. And we also provide custom technology enablement workshops such as this. And we design these as free sessions to kind of share best practices for implementation to your team. And then, speaking of all our enterprise open source vendors, Fierce Software represents, we have a humble brag of showcasing a few awards that we won, and we are proud that our work in the public sector customers has resulted in such a full trophy case, if you will. So as of that, I will pass this over to Chris Clark on our Cloudera side, and he will take it from there. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So appreciate everyone's time today. And again, thank you for Fierce Software hosting this webinar, very valued partner, and we appreciate all that they contribute to our customers. So today we will go over Cloudera as a whole, and then as Matt mentioned, get a little bit more specific in our Cloudera DataFlow solution and get into the technology that supports that and how it can help our customers. To start off, looking at Cloudera overall as a company, to get in a little bit deeper on our why, how, and what. So here at Cloudera, we believe when customers can effectively control their data, they can do anything, making what is impossible today possible tomorrow. We do this by empowering customers to transform complex data into clear and actionable insights faster and easier through our solutions. We deliver the industry's only true hybrid data platform with secure data management and analytics to make it easier to manage and secure the entire data lifecycle from edge to AI in any cloud or data center. And we wanted to highlight here a quick quote from Gartner this past year, looking at the future data ecosystem. It has to be leveraged with on-prem, hybrid, in the cloud, whatever the customers are looking at. We have to be able to offer them what suits their needs. We're looking at this with a whole degree of automation, integration, and governance capabilities through our platform, and overall to deliver solutions to our customer with enterprise-grade security and performance. Specifically looking at Cloudera with public sector. So Cloudera Government Solutions, you'll hear this referred to as CGSI. We are our own entity, a subset entity within Cloudera, and working specifically with the government. We have a strong presence, and we're continuously growing our relationship within Department of Defense, the intelligence community, federal civilian agencies, state and local, and higher education. We have partnerships with the key software, hardware, and cloud providers that are relevant to the public sector community. And our technology meets strict U.S. regulatory and accreditation requirements providing data access controls and governance capabilities, as well as support for FIPS 140-2. Our software is based on open source technology. This is ensuring zero vendor lock-in and maximum interoperability with other software solutions. We also enable organizations across all industries to tackle the transformational use cases and extract real-time insights from an ever-increasing amount of data to drive mission value and results. We do this through our programs with hands-on installation, integration, education, and enablement. Through our subscriptions, we also offer continuous support, upgrades, patching, troubleshooting for any bug fixes or security breaches. Leveraging the open source community and Cloudera's technical expertise, your software will be continuously supported and enterprise ready throughout the life cycle. So looking at what Cloudera has been up to the past couple years, a lot of people hear Cloudera and they have a connection with Hadoop or Hortonworks, but over the past few years, we've really been working to modernize and evolve into what we have now. We've been working to re-architect our platform to take the best legacy Cloudera distributions and optimizing those for our cloud-native experience, both public and private, as we mentioned. We're doing this, through the ease of use to the cloud, whether it's self-service on demand, very flexible consumption model as well, separation of storage and compute, no more monolithic clusters. Also leveraging K8 spaced and container services through our data services, and also the streaming AI and ML, ever-evolving multifunctional analytic capabilities. And all of this together is leading us to the modern data architecture to support all aspects of our customers' missions. So here we want to give an overview of Cloudera's hybrid data platform overall at a high level. So again, we are the only true hybrid data platform in the industry, and Cloudera's data platform is powered by an integrated suite of secure analytics services that fully manage the data all the way from edge to AI in any environment, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud, or a hybrid of both. So again, looking at that top level there in the graphic on the far left side is the beginning of data ingestion and collection, and moving all the way to the right through AI and ML. We can provide any of these solutions, all secured on our shared data experience. And this is Cloudera's secret sauce, with full integration for protection, data governance. Anyone within the organization can see where the data is coming from with security, governance layers, and it's all protected within the platform. This full integration gives better productivity, faster time to value, and also helps lower customer costs by reducing integration tax when trying to connect multiple vendor solutions across the life cycle. But even if customers, that is the case that customers do have multiple vendors within their life cycle or products, for Cloudera, we don't really have a takeout strategy, because we want to be here to help facilitate those other solutions and processes to optimize the data to make it faster and easier to consume, analyze, and move throughout the life cycle to make informed decisions for the customer. And you can see here again, whether it's hybrid, multi-cloud, we work with AWS, Google, Azure, on-prem, any of the major cloud providers, we work with them and have open and extensible operability across the board. So here, we'll turn it over to Tarun to get a little bit deeper into our solutions and the technology that supports that. Tarun?
All right, thank you, Chris. Do you want me to share a screen here, or you can navigate the slides? Okay. All right, just confirm that you can see my slides.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So in today's modern data-driven world, we need to deliver modern use cases like, public sector agencies. They need to deliver use cases like condition-based maintenance, predictive maintenance, fraud detection, supply chain optimization. real-time network threat detections. And for that, you need a data journey. I mean, you need to collect data from connected vehicles like trucks, aircrafts, ships. And not just that, they have many sensors on these vehicles, and you need to collect data from those sensors, other IoT devices. And once you get that data, you need to kind of like blend the data, or make it more meaningful by blending it or enriching it with other data sources. Like you may have some internal systems in your organizations that has some good information that you need to blend with this data that's coming from these connected devices or connected vehicles. And also you want to kind of like increase the accuracy in a way, so you get the accurate analytics done, or you get the accurate insights, or I would say more like actionable insights from your data. And for that, you kind of first you need to collect the data. Like the data ingestion itself is the first mile of problem that you need to solve. And once you're done that, you would need to enrich the data, make it more accurate by having other data sources working with your data that's coming from these different data sources, and do the kind of like transformation of the data, or cleaning of data, or enrichment of data using the data engineering kind of like functionality. Once your data is curated, you want to do the reporting on it, so you get the good information out of your data. And if you want to predict, like for predictive maintenance use case, where you want to predict the maintenance before your vehicle breaks down, you want to do it on regular basis, so you kind of like reduce the downtime, and you kind of like have the mission ongoing, and not kind of like have a blocker just because of your vehicles are not working, or your aircrafts are not working, or your ships are not working. So, and I mean, when I say aircrafts and ships, that's more applicable to, in government sector, Department of Defense agencies. But just think about, the use case. It could be applied to any use case similar to that, like in commercial sector too. And then once you have your data curated, you do the reporting, and for prediction, you want to do the machine learning. And for that, you kind of like need to have your data go through the multiple functions of the data lifecycle. I'm introducing this term, right now. Data lifecycle is like a functions, collection of functions where your data pass through from each cycle or each functions, and comes out at the end with the predictions through the machine learning models. And I mean, with the data journey that you take, you want to make sure you kind of like get the actionable insights or intelligence out of your data. And for that, it's really important that you choose the right platform. And Cloudera's hybrid data platform is all set it for your success. So a little bit about the Cloudera's innovation, what Cloudera has been offering in today's world, in modern world. Cloudera's data platform, which is hybrid data platform, and I mean what we have seen in the industry, why it is hybrid. I can just elaborate more on that. What we have seen in the industry, that customers, they don't have a data in one place. They have a data on-prem. They have a data in multiple clouds. Like they might have a data related to customers in AWS cloud. They might have a data related to advertising in Google Cloud, and then machine data in the Azure. Now you need a way to orchestrate this hybrid world, right? And Cloudera's unified data fabric solutions, Cloudera SDX, is the one that orchestrates this hybrid world on this hybrid data platform. So it allows you to, it's kind of like a single pane of glass for your security, governance, replication, and data lineage. And on top of that, you need a way, or you need a kind of like capability where you can do multifunction analysis, like not just the just the reporting, but you want to do the data engineering, you want to do the data warehousing, you want to do the machine learning. And that's what in today's modern world called open data lakehouse, where you do the multifunction analytics on the data. And Cloudera's hybrid data platform is all built up from ground using the open source technology to support this today's modern architecture, unified data fabric, and open data lakehouse. So, I mean, that was the brief idea about what Cloudera has been offering in the market today. But let's focus or zero in what we are kind of like focused in from go-to-market perspective, or Cloudera is focused in from the go-to-market perspective in public sector. So Cloudera is offering CDP private cloud, which is perfect fit for governments and public sectors where they don't have to take their data to the cloud, where then when they are concerned with the sensitivity of data, like compliance, regulation, and also the security concern, right? So you can leave your data on-prem and still have a cloud-like agility on-prem, and that's what the CDP private cloud is. So you can have the similar features what the cloud providers offers you in terms of the agility and flexibility. You can get those same features on-prem using the CDP private cloud. So and focusing more on the go-to-market strategy, we want to set kind of like a foot in the customer's door with the Cloudera's DataFlow, because that's the first function of the data lifecycle. That's the first mile of solutions for customers to solve. Customer to solve their first mile of problems on their data journey. So Cloudera is offering Cloudera's DataFlow and streaming solution is the low-code solutions to simplify and enable the data acquisition or data collection and transform that data and deliver that data into the into the data ecosystem. These are the two main offerings that we want to focus on from the go-to-market perspective. This is Cloudera's data lifecycle expanded with all the functions and what are all the open source technologies behind the scene. So it's just the view of the entire data lifecycle here. So now let's talk about the first mile solutions, right? So today's modern data use cases, or I would say very specifically data in motion use cases. We need a way to collect data from anywhere and distribute to any place or any destination. That means like we need a universal data distribution solutions that can connect to any data source and deliver data to any destination, including the modern data sources like IoT devices, edge devices, includes like sensors, connected devices, connected vehicles, right? And I mean, you want to collect them, you want to do the processing on them, and then deliver to the destination in your data ecosystem. Other category of use cases is streaming analytics. We now in this modern world, we get the real-time streaming of data, and we need a way to kind of like analyze that data. So like if you talk about the fraud detection, the data is coming from your source continuously, and now you want to kind of like find out you want to kind of like figure out what are the prospects for fraudulent transactions or fraudulent activities, right? So from looking at the data, you can probably flag it saying, I see that this is suspicious, so somebody needs to look into that. Or like network threat detection, right? You want to figure out the threats on your network. So those kind of a streaming real-time application use cases, you need a streaming analytics kind of capability. Logging modernizations, many organizations, they already have the logging solutions in place, but with time, they might want to kind of like, improve the performance of their logging solutions or kind of like optimize the cost. So you need a way to do that. And so like the logging modernizations goes with the like SIEM optimizations. like if you have a Splunk or Elastic and you want to kind of like reduce the amount of data that you send to them, if to improve the search performance or in kind of like reduce the cost or optimize the cost, you need a solutions for that. So Cloudera's DataFlow is kind of like solutions for all these three different kind of use cases. So just expanding more on the first mile of challenges in data collection and movement, like, as I mentioned, that you get data from everywhere. You get data from systems like file servers, databases, from sensors, from connected devices, connected vehicles, right? And they are getting collected today with the different point solutions. Then it becomes a problem for your data architects because they are responsible in the organizations for managing managing the movement of your data that's coming from externally or internally and delivering it to the right destination in your organizations. So data architects, basically they want not many point solutions, but the one standard tooling or one universal solutions that's going to make their life easy when it comes to kind of like, collecting and delivering data into the data ecosystem. Application and integration developers, they want a way, like they need a tool that they can very easily build the data pipeline very quickly, onboard new use cases for data applications very quickly. So they don't want like multiple tools. If you have multiple point solutions, you may have to kind of like work with them to onboard the different data and deliver the data applications. For administrator, it's always a security and managing and maintaining these flows and monitoring these flows. If you have like thousands of flows, then it becomes like really hard for this administrator to manage, maintain, and monitor. So they need kind of like one universal data distribution service, so it becomes easier for them to manage it. And this is just like if you have one universal data distribution service, in comparison to the previous slide, you can see like rather than you having a multiple paths where that data is moving through, you just have a data coming from all sources to the one service, and then it's getting delivered to your destinations or like to your users for various applications like dashboarding and analytics. So what is universal data distribution? Universal data distribution doesn't really care where your data is born, whether it was born in cloud or outside of cloud, or on the IoT devices or sensors. It can pull or push data. So I mean, basically, push data means like if your sources are pushing data, it can collect that data. And if you want your service, like universal service, to go and collect data from sources, it can do that too. Once the data is collected, you want to process it. Like you want to filter it, you want to enrich it, you want to transform it, and then route to the right destination. And once it is routed, you need a connectors, or you need a way to deliver it to the destinations. Like you want to deliver your data to the Splunk or Elastic or any other database, right? So you need a way to do that. That's what the universal data distribution service is. Now, Cloudera's DataFlow, which is offering the universal data distribution service, is a data in motion platform. Comes with like two core capabilities: flow management and stream processing, to deliver the use cases. Three different kind of use cases at the high level we discussed: universal data distribution, streaming analytics, and logging modernizations, right? So the first category or first component here is the flow management, which is powered by the Apache NiFi and MiniFi. The NiFi here is the low code or no code interface for the data application developers to use and build the data pipeline very easily, very quickly, so you can onboard the new use cases or new data quickly for your data analytics. And the MiniFi here is for working with the edge devices. For streaming processing, as I mentioned earlier, like you have the stream of data coming through, you want to do the analytics on that. So Cloudera's DataFlow offers a tooling for the streaming processing. And all this is secured with Cloudera's SDX and not just secure, but governed also. So you can get the data lineage, you can get the right security, and you can do the administrations that you need to do. So a little bit more about the data collection and management at the edge, right? So you have many edge agents. So the Minify we talked just slide is agent that you can have sitting on the edge devices and sending data to your data pipeline in your data ecosystem. And this edge agent, they come with the limited but like useful functionality where you can do some filterings and some processing of data right at the edge. So you don't need to send all data from edge on the network to your data pipeline. So you're saving the network bandwidth, you're saving the cost, and also you're not sending all the data that you don't need to send, right? And there is another piece called the Edge Flow Manager, allows you to work with these agents, like thousands of agents, where you can deploy the code that you want to run on those agents through the Edge Flow Manager. Cloudera's Flow Management, which is powered by Apache NiFi, is a low-code and no-code tool. I just mentioned that. You can see here on the slide the canvas of the Apache NiFi, and we will see that in the demo when I do it at the end. It's very easy to use for your data application developer. They can just drag and drop the many built-in processors from the palette for connecting to various sources, like connecting to any on-prem source, any database, or any kind of like cloud source, or like Elastic or Splunk, and deliver to the different sources wherever you want to send it, like database, or again, if you want to send it to Splunk or Elastic, they can do that. Very easily, very quickly, just drag and drop and connect those processors and build the data pipeline. It comes with the like 300 plus built-in processor for your application developers to use, so they don't need to write a code for like connecting to sources and delivering data to destination, as well as doing some filtering, enrichment, and transformation of data. So here I'll briefly touch upon the what are the like advantages if you go with the supported subscription of NiFi, or which is like the Cloudera's Flow Management powered by, right? And if you are using the unsupported version of NiFi, because NiFi is an open source tool, so you can use it free. So if you have the supported version, then you have a backing of Cloudera for the security, bug fixing, patching, and 24/7 support. If you don't have the supported subscription, then you are on own to kind of like work with all the issues. And I'll have Chris mention a little bit more on this topic and go a little bit more in detail. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Tarun. So overall, like Tarun mentioned, our solutions are driven and powered by a lot of open source technology, and a lot of our customers have questions around, free open source versus enterprise supported subscription. So again, we just wanted to make sure there's clarity here. On Cloudera's side, we provide, with the subscription, we provide rigorous testing and updates to the code earlier and more often than the open source community. The interoperability, scalability, and stability and security that we have within our products are unmatched versus an unsupported free open source solution. Constant updates, patches, and bug fixes far in advance of community releases, and as Tarun mentioned, the 24/7 worldwide technical support from Cloudera experts. And all of this incorporated gives you, our customers, the ability to focus on their agency's missions and not focusing and taking time on the administration of open source code and their patching the environment. So the value of that versus the risk of the unsupported free open source software, obviously the increased vulnerability and data breaches you have without the proper security in place, the unknown time for fixes and patches from the community, or taking that time manually to do it on your own, unsure if it's going to work or not. Possible failure for production environments with no technical support being available. And one of the biggest things is the downtime that can result with negative impacts on the mission critical initiatives, forward programs, or even loss of life for our military personnel in the field. We have to have quick turnaround and understand where this data is coming from to take actionable insights to deploy that out into the field. And also in the long term, looking at unsupported software, this could result in a short project lifespan just because there is no support or expertise and knowledge on how to continue the environment, structure it moving forward without the points mentioned of the supported subscription from Cloudera. So again, we just wanted to make sure there's clarity there between what we offer within our subscription and then the risks that come with the unsupported free open source software. And then here, we wanted to highlight here before Tarun gets into the technical points of the demonstration. One is the successes we had with Cloudera DataFlow at an unnamed federal civilian agency. This use case is really highlighting cybersecurity prevention and real-time threat detection and response. So this agency had a need arise from being hit with a zero-day exploit, and there was concerns of their compromised systems. They could not use their SIM optimization to determine the origins of the attack, and they were also unable to detect future attacks in a timely manner to protect themselves. So through Cloudera DataFlow, we worked with this agency to set up continuous queries to alert for future attacks. Dashboards are updated in real time, so everyone has instant visibility into the status of their systems and environment. This also leads to faster results and faster decisions. They can understand where they are currently sitting to make informed decisions and moving the program forward. And it also enabled continuous monitoring of critical systems to help prevent those future attacks. So let's see. It was around a 1 month implementation of professional services to ensure that the customer understood, how to operate the systems and making sure everything was in place. But again, that comes a part of the Cloudera subject matter expertise and knowledge that we provide to our customers when these issues do arise.
All right, thank you, Chris. So I'll talk about high-level idea about the demo that I'm going to do. So what I'll be showing is Cloudera's flow management, which is going to ingest syslog data. Now here, for the demo purpose, I will be generating the data for syslog. We won't be connecting to any system to get that data, but in the real world, you will be connecting to the system which are producing all the system log, and you can get those data into your data pipeline. So once the data has been ingested by the Cloudera flow management, we are going to buffer this data into the Kafka, and from there we are going to do kind of like continuous query on that data. I'm just going to show that capability using the Apache Flink and SQL Stream Builder, where you can have the job that can continuously running on this data that's coming from the flow management to Kafka. So the query would be getting the data from the Kafka topic or the Kafka, and you can set a conditions in the job that you run saying, I want to see the data which is having this kind of anomaly, right? You want to kind of like figure out some issues, or like let's say in case of the fraudulent transaction, you want to have some conditions in your queries saying, I want to identify let's take an example of the credit card fraud. Like I want to identify the transaction where the transaction happen in like multiple transactions happen on the same card in 10 minutes, but across the different geolocations. Like if one transaction happened in America, another one happened in Europe in 10 minutes, then you want to be kind of like flag that saying, I suspect this is fraudulent, right? So you need to put that intelligence in your query, and then you can find the fraudulent transaction. Another thing is like you can store the data from this query, results of this query to some database for your dashboarding or other analytics application to connect to that database and do the analysis on it. So here I'll be showing like Cloudera Flow Management, Kafka, SQL Stream Builder, and then showing you we have a very good open source tool for querying data from the various sources called Hue, and it comes with a limited visualization capability, but it's useful visualization capability. So I'll be showing you the visualization in that too. So let me get into the demo with that. I'm going to switch my screen. All right. Let me know if you can see the Cloudera Flow Management screen.
Yep, it's coming through. Thanks.
Okay, good. Thank you. So what you are seeing here is the NiFi flow, right? We talked about the NiFi. We talked about the Cloudera DataFlow, right? So Cloudera's DataFlow and the flow management specifically powered by Apache NiFi, which allows you to build the data pipeline or the data flow very quickly. And I want to show you that you can just take a processor from the palette and drag it and put it on your canvas. And let's say you want to connect to syslog data. So you just type in here and there are like 4 different processors you can use for syslog. Depends on the task that you want to do. If you just want to listen from the syslog source, you just use that. Now let's say you want to fetch some data from different sources like Azure or Elastic. You can see here or from HDFS, you can see there are various processors here to get the data from various sources, right? If you are looking for something for S3, you got a processor. So you get an idea, like it comes with the 300 plus built-in processor for you to connect to various data sources, and same to connect to various destinations for your data processing, collection of data, data processing, and delivery. So I have created this flow for generating the syslog. The first processor you can see is execute script, and that is actually executing the Python script to generate the syslog data, and very specifically in the format of RFC 5424, which is a standard for syslog data format. And the next processor I have is to read that data from the syslog, processor, which is generating the data. And the third processor I have is to write to the Kafka. So like you can very easily, get the processor here. Like let's say I'm going to listen to syslog. I would just say syslog. And you add this, little, let me do this. Okay. And then you want to put it to Kafka. So I'm going to say Kafka. Or I will just say Kafka. Publish Kafka. Let's say I just pick any of these right now. Publish to Kafka just for demo. And then you can just join them. So like it is that easy to build the flow. Yeah, so just to give you an idea like how easy it is, you can see like many processors are already built in, so you just need to configure them. Like for this one, let me just enter it. For this one, it has been configured to run the Python script. So you say, what is the engine? Where is the file? Where is the code, right? If you have the file, then you put the file. But if you want to put the body of the code, you can just put it here. You can see the code here. And it will execute that code. So now let me run this. I'm running this and it's going to generate the data. So you can see it's, let me go here. It's queuing the data here. Okay, so you see the data is coming through, right? And let me show you. Yeah, so this is the data that's coming through. Now, but I just don't want to run this. But you can see, like, even if these two processors are not running, the flow is still running, right? So it's not failing. So that's the good about the NiFi. Now let me run this too also, so we can send the data to Kafka. And let me go to the Kafka. I'm sending data to this topic here in Kafka called syslog1. So topic is the way to kind of like organize your data coming from one specific source. That's the easy explanation of that. So you can see the data has came through. You can see I have the timestamp in my data. So this is Eastern time, 12:45. That's what it is right now. And you can see September 14th. So the data is coming through. Now I'm going to go to the SQL Stream Builder and I'm going to run the query here. Let me pick the query. And this is all about the system log. So in the system log, I have the message where the applications on specific servers have unexpectedly exited, right? So I'm interested to know about those applications. So I'm going to kind of like run my job, and it's going to take a bit to run it. Yeah, so it's going to run it, and you can see the results coming through here. But before that's come through, let me go and show you the visualization part, which I ran the job before to write the data from these kind of queries to the database. Okay, so let's see if the results come through. Otherwise, I'll just jump there. Okay, let me go there. Looks like it's going to take a bit. So if I go there, I wrote the data from those kind of query to the database here in the table called failed apps. And I want to see, so I did the query here, and I want to see what are all the locations where applications are failing. So you can just, kind of like see the nice visualization here. This is like a tool with the limited capability of visualization, but you can still get your work done. You can hook up the, other visualizations tools to Cloudera's data platform and do the fancy visualization based on the data that you have. But this is just to kind of like give you an idea, like how you can use it for visualization. So let me go back, and here, let me show you. You can see the data is coming through from this continuous query, and I'm interested to know what host, where it failed, so I can see that. And this data, you can write to database, and that's what I showed you here. You can write to database. You can write to database, and then you do the visualization from the database table. Here I'm writing it to kind of like database called Kuru, which is pretty optimized for the real-time applications. And with that, the demo, I think I'm done with the demo. So let me get back to, let me stop all this. So this job continuously runs until you stop it. And you can run this job in background also. So you don't have to like worry that you have to be in front of the screen and write the data to database. All right, I'm going to stop my flow also, and then I'm going to navigate back. So you can just do the stop button here, and it is going to stop. Let me stop this one also. Okay. Now let me go back to the slide and call to action. All right.
Thanks, Tarun. That was great. Appreciate it. So overall, hopefully today we gave you a good overview of Cloudera's offerings and specifically the capabilities of Cloudera DataFlow and how that can help our customers. Moving forward, we wanted to bring your attention to Proof of Value Lab that Fierce Software is actually working to stand up right now, powered by Dell hardware and highlighting Cloudera Data Platform and Cloudera DataFlow. So if you all do have any interest, or anyone on your team has interest in a hands-on demo lab that you get in and use the software and with instruction and be able to play with it and get used to it, feel free to contact Fierce and they will be able to provide you more details on that. Moving forward, if you do have any other specific questions on Cloudera, Cloudera@fiercesoftware.com. Email alias is there. Please feel free to reach out to them directly. They can help direct you on advice with any white papers, product sheets, information you may need on Cloudera, have an overall discovery technology discussion to see what you all are working with and what solutions would be best. Future webinars or events and promotions that we're working on, and obviously a direct line of communication and introduction to the Cloudera sales team. So please feel free to reach out to the Cloudera team at Fierce moving forward with any questions, and we will keep everyone updated on the next webinar coming through. And please give us any information or feedback on items or topics that you would like to see in the future. We would definitely appreciate that. But definitely want to thank everyone for their time today. Thanks, Tarun, for your assistance, and Matt from Fierce, and everyone at the team over there for what you've done for the webinar today. And we will close it out and look forward to speaking with everyone again soon. Thank you and have a great day.